Hey everybody, it is Radley here with the energetic weather report for May 7th through the May 13th. And I have with me my dear friend, Heather Hildebrand. Say hello, Heather.
Hello.
So today I am working with Angel Wisdom Tarot cards. This is one of my absolute most popular and possibly my favorite, but don't tell my other children that because then the cards won't work. So, but definitely a card that I really, really love and turn to regularly for my own self. So today we're doing the energetic weather report for May 7th through the 13th. And as we've been doing lately, we are using a 3-card spread that represents the entire week. I'm pulled clarifying cards for each one of those cards. Clarifying card meaning a card that provides additional information for that particular card. So we've got 3 cards and 3 clarifying cards. As usual, we also have Radley's mashup of the major arcana between Angel Tarot cards and Archangel Power Tarot cards to discuss who your personal Archangel of the week is. Now, remember, this is an intuitive exercise. So this is between you and your inner self. Doesn't matter if you are listening to this podcast on mindbodyspirit.fm. Hi, everybody there. Or you are watching this on a YouTube. Hi, everybody over there. You can turn into your intuition and figure it out. So are you drawn intuitively to card number 1? Card number 2? Card number 3? Or card number 4? Which one are you feeling, Heather?
Card number 4.
Okay, cool. All right, so we'll talk about that again in a minute. Every time I do this, I feel like I'm Monty Hall on Let's Make a Deal, which a whole bunch of people have no earthly clue what that even meant. But if
I was definitely feeling like I wanted to step into a Vanna White role.
Oh, okay, there you go. All right. So the first card that we have in our energetic weather report this week is a card called Release. Release. And the card says endings that lead to new beginnings, the need to release situations or people that hold you back, spiritual transformation. Now, this card in traditional tarot is the death card, which never ever means a physical death. Hence the reason I don't call it death, because it isn't its meaning anyway. However, we have the ever so gorgeous Archangel Azrael, and that's not just a physical thing. Azrael is said to be so incredibly beautiful that we happily, joyfully follow him back into spirit at the end of our lives. But the main point here is a sense of needing to let go of something on a large level. The release card is not a card that you can just walk away all bland and go, oh, well, that's over, so what? This is a big ending, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. This can be an ending that you are grateful for, where you're like, oh my God, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, that is over. Or it can be one that brings with it a certain sadness, even sorrow. But this is about releasing. When we get to the clarifying card in a moment, it'll make a whole lot more sense. Do you have any thoughts on that, dear?
I do, like, definitely intuitively. You probably saw me scratching little notes because the thing that came up for me is, as I think a lot of people are needing to really, really just be in that space of forgiveness, which is a huge release, whether it's forgiveness of self, forgiveness of I shoulda, coulda, woulda, or having to do with other people. I feel that it's gonna be the big pivotal moment for their own personal leveling up, honestly.
And Heather has psychically hit on our clarifying card, but we'll hold up on that because she doesn't know what any of these cards are. So next up for this is the 4 of Water. So once again, we've got some energy that might feel uncomfortable just a little bit. But this card says failing to recognize a magical opportunity, missing the point, the distractions of daily life, discontentment or boredom, lost in your own world. And if you cannot see this card because you're on the podcast, you've basically got a young man who is sitting underneath an apple tree. And there's Archangel Shamuel, the eyes of God, is behind him, offering him a cup. but he can't see that because his eyes are so focused on the cups in front of him that he can't see the opportunity. He can't see the other options that are for him. And he looks quite bored and discontent and, almost remorseful. So this is an energy that we have to focus on, because this card is not necessarily a want card, because it's not a situation where this is fated. We're getting a heads up from the angels that we need to be awake and aware that there is an opportunity coming. And if we are in just coast mode, we might not notice it. We need to be, I'm trying to snap my fingers and it's not working. We need to be awake, okay? We need to be snapping out of it and to be awake. Heather?
Well, as soon as you started reading that card, I just felt like, so many are feeling all of this eclipse energy. I think that it has a lot of people in their emotions. And so one of the things that I think we can do to get out of that funk so that we can be more aware in our everyday, every moment of the day, is to, I am emotionally free. Like, let go of all those things that when you feel you're heavy, you've got to pay attention to your energy so that you can clear all of that, so that you can have that clarity and pay attention and focus.
All right. So what do we got here? We've got let it go, let it go. We've got, I don't have a song for pay attention or wake up. Wake up before you go.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Of course you are, psychic. And what is the payoff if we do that? Okay, the payoff is 9 of Earth. All right. So this card says, enjoying the fruits of our labors, hard work that has led to a luxurious life, buying yourself something special, happily and successfully self-employed, enjoying your solitude. And so here we have a lovely woman of Asian persuasion who is standing in a garden, a beautiful garden, and behind it you can see the vineyards, and she is in a beautiful, elaborate golden and red gown with 9 coins built into the fence behind her. And so this whole sense of, okay, I've done what I need to do, and now I get to be in a place of joyfulness about it. I get to enjoy the fruits of my labors, as the card says. This is the card where we literally get to pat ourselves on the back and go, I did a good job. And so if we do these things where we release this week and we pay attention, then the opportunity for having a wonderful, wonderful moment is absolutely present. We might do it alone. This card does love its solitude, not in a negative way, solitude that is chosen, that moment where you have triplets that are only 4 months old and you need to hide, okay? And in that moment, you're like, life is good. So that is the 9 of Earth. Heather?
Well, I just kind of feel like that's the exclamation point of this whole, release. Really get out of our own way, just get out of our own way so that we can allow everything that we're wanting to show up for us. And I think that's really interesting to, starting off that week with knowing and needing that you're needing to release, but maybe midweek, like struggling with it a little bit, like it's wanted to come back around. And I love this. I think it's a perfect message for the week.
Right. So let's go back to clarifying cards. So you were psychic and you really hit on a point when you said the importance of forgiveness, even self-forgiveness. So for the clarifying card for release is 5 of Air. Now, this is one of my least favorite cards to pull, but as a clarifying card, I didn't mind it at all. So the card says an unwise choice. There's a better way that will make you happier. Avoid people who lack integrity or have questionable motives. But when we pair this with release, we're basically looking at this energy as the thing we need to release. Maybe we made an unwise choice and we need to forgive it. Maybe we acted in a way that probably wasn't maybe our greatest moment of integrity, and we need to release it. Or we interacted with people who were not in their integrity, and we need to forgive that moment. But this, for me, in this instance, is like, I don't mind this card at all, because it really does talk about where we have literally let ourselves down, or someone else has let ourselves down, and now we need to let that go. For the clarifying card for 4 of water, remember that is the card that talks about missing an opportunity. Well, we have Queen of Air, my favorite court card. And it says brilliant, experienced, humorous, and judgmental as the elements of a person who is the Queen of Air. And it says releasing situations or people that no longer serve you, seeing the humor in difficult situations, focusing on your career, divorced or unmarried situations, individuals. So I think when we pair this with the 4 of water, what I'm basically seeing is, once again, we've got that word release. Okay, it's back again, tying this card to the first card very specifically, but also this whole element of seeing the humor, laughing it off, being in this space where, okay, I'm not going to miss my opportunity, like we said. Instead, I'm just going to laugh about anything that has me in the doldrums, that might have me distracted, that might put me in a place where I could miss out, but I ain't going to do that.
No, because
yeah,
it's
go ahead.
gonna be wake me up before you go. Like, you're letting the angels know, do not let me miss an opportunity. I'm open to your help because I don't want to be the thing that's standing in my way.
Absolutely. And the fact that this card says focusing on career means that this card might in particular have something to do with your career. Pay attention to that. Now, the clarifying card for 9 of Earth, remember that's the card about enjoying the fruit of your labors and enjoying your solitude, and life is really, really yummy and good. We have King of Fire, who pairs beautifully with the 9 of Earth, and says, take a leadership role, step into the spotlight, public speaking, keep your eyes on the big picture, communicate your vision, don't be sensitive to criticism. So for me, this card really marries well with the 9 of Earth, because it's talking about take a moment to enjoy the pleasures of this particular aspect of your life, because stepping into the spotlight is what is coming. You're going to have the opportunity to really, really, really shine. And so if you're going to shine, rest beforehand, because that moment is coming, because you did all of your work this week.
Wonderful. And I think that we need to look back. So much of the time, the thing that's coming to me just intuitively is, it's easy for us to get frustrated or feel challenged or struggled, but we also need to look back at everything we've done up until this point, because it's so easy for us to just look at the things we still feel like we're missing or we haven't hit the mark, when everything we've been doing is leading us to where we're trying to get to. So we don't want to stop before that reward, is presented to us, and that we get to enjoy it.
Absolutely. So let's look at the personal archangels of the week. If you were drawn to card number 1, you have pulled card 12, the awakening card, known as the Hanged Man in traditional tarot. Guess why I changed the name of that one? And so we have Gabriel here. I love Gabriel. Definitely in my top 3 of archangels. Gabriel is the archangel of creativity, of motivation, of communication. So where you need these skill sets, these elements in your life, Gabriel is there for you. If you were drawn to card number 2, it's Archangel Haniel, the archangel that helps us to develop our psychic gifts. She shows up here on the High Priestess card. So where we need to be relying on our intuition, in particular for that second card this week, that 4 of water, possibly missing an opportunity, she's there to help. Where we need forgiveness, there is always Archangel Zadkiel on the balance card, traditionally called temperance. And so he has the ability to help us to forgive, but also to beef up our memory. I like to call him the ginkgo biloba of the archangel realm. And card number 4, this is the card that Heather was drawn to, is the Chariot card with Archangel Metatron. Metatron, the archangel of focus and grounding and time warping, my favorite skill set that he has, and the ability to help us to do those things. And also, he's quite magical. That match you for this week, Heather?
So literally before we hopped on here, I have this thing that I will do, whatever it is that I feel like I'm feeling challenged or struggled with. And I literally was saying, time is my friend. Time is here to support. I have all the time that I need to get everything accomplished with ease and grace.
Man, you couldn't.
There you go.
Better than Metatron. That's absolutely flawless. So here's the happy news. If you've enjoyed spending time with Heather, as I have, she is going to be with us this week on the Angel Tarot Show, where we are going to be talking talking about Archangel Sandalphon, the Archangel of music, but even more importantly, in my opinion, the Archangel of prayer. And I tend to call Miss Heather Hildebrand the goddess of prayer because she knows what she is doing better than anybody I know. This girl can literally weave a prayer right out of thin air, and that is important. That's important symbolism, important wording on my part, weaving a prayer. And we'll talk more about that on the Angel Tarot Show this week. Also, don't forget that I have a springtime sale that is coming up where it is focused on my course for Angel Wisdom Tarot cards, where I go through card by card by card by card by card, showing you all the in-depth symbolism of this deck and therefore helping you to fall in love with it just the same as me. But there's a bunch of other stuff that's for sale as well. Check it out at radleyvalentine.com/springtime. All right, so that's it for this week's energetic weather report for May 7th through the May 13th. I'm Radley Valentine.
I'm Heather Hildebrand.
And I'll talk to you again next week.